And this is live at YouTube, and this is TOEFL speaking practice. So what is this exactly, and who am I? I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I have, it's called a TOEFL Speaking Bootcamp course, believe it or not. You will see the link in the chat right next to this video where it says live chat. And students will send me speaking practice pretty much every day for over the 30 days, and I give them feedback. I help them understand what their score is and any problems they might be having with delivery, language use, and topic development. And today is TOEFL speaking practice, and I'm specifically giving feedback to about 4 or 5 of my students right now. So you're actually going to hear these students' responses, and you will hear my comments on their TOEFL speaking. This is why I call this TOEFL Speaking Practice Live. All right? So let's start with our first student here. I'm going to download her speaking file. Okay, here we go. And I also have an audio recording. I'm actually going to make a recording, and I will talk to her as I listen to her practice test. This is how I like to give feedback to my students as they're doing their speaking. Yeah, hi there, MJ. This is Michael. I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice, so here we go.
I think it's much better for people to use other forms of communications. First of all, it's very convenient. It's not so difficult to call someone or send an email. On the contrary, in order to have a face-to-face communication, I have to go to the place where my friend stays, which would be very inconvenient. Second,
can we go back to what you just said there? Hold on.
Is where my friend stays, which would be very inconvenient.
Okay, which would be very inconvenient. Okay.
Second, I think these other forms of communications are much better because it...
Good. So you made some changes with your topic statement. You're now framing things as arguments and not just facts. So that's a good step in the right direction.
Saves time and money. For example, if I call my friend or send an email to my professor, it will take me only a few minutes. However, if I were to meet someone in person, I would spend lots of time and money on transportation.
Okay. And that makes sense. So for these reasons, I prefer other forms of communication such as email or phone, right? So it doesn't matter. You didn't have the conclusion there, by the way. I think on this one, very good on your delivery. You had very good control of your language use with your grammar and your vocabulary, and I liked how you're talking about the hypothetical. You're using things like would, it would be, or it would cost. So you're talking about some present impossible conditions, and you're using the simple past to do that, so that was good. Topic development, yes, you had a good introduction, and then you had 2 reasons why you prefer these other forms of communication. You were able to give some detail to help explain your ideas. So that was a very good response on your part. I'm looking at the rubrics right now, so I'm going to put you at 26 points or higher on this particular practice test. So very strong response on your part. I think it's very possible you could get a score of 4 on that practice test. Now the comments that I just made, now I'm talking to my YouTubers, these comments I just made, I'm now going to email them to the student. So she never sees me. I never see her. We never meet in person, right? And that way I can offer my course at a less of an expense than TOEFL tutors. TOEFL tutors can cost $30, $40, $50. I saw one website, I think it was English Success Academy, some of their tutors $100 an hour. Wow. And I don't have to charge any of that because I don't have to meet with my students in real time, and they still get good feedback after they do their speaking practice. Okay, let me send her a quick message. Okay, so she will get those comments. Now, if you guys watching at YouTube, if you have a question, you can just type it in, and I will look at it in just a minute. So, ask any question you want. But, make sure it's related to English and learning English and improving your TOEFL score and those kinds of things, because that's my expertise. Okay, now I'm sending her an email. All right, we go to the next one now. Again, this is TOEFL Speaking Practice Live at YouTube. And it's August 28th. You guys aren't going to believe it. In San Bernardino, I teach at Cal State San Bernardino. Today, the temperature is going to be 111 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Okay, now we go to our next student. I'm going to listen to her too here. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for DA, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And let's take a look. So I'm looking at your audio file right now. I'm going to download it. So yours is, what do you enjoy doing more when you have free time? Reading books or watching TV programs? So you're choosing one or the other next one.
If I have a time, I will use it in reading books. Since that...
Can we check your language use here one more time? Hold on.
If I have a time, I will use...
If I have... Believe it or not, if I have time in this case, I would use it as an uncount noun, which means there's no need to say if I have a time, just say if I have time. But also I know that it can be a count noun as well. I went to the store 2 times, for example. But in this case, it's an uncount noun.
Use it in reading books, since that will help me in improving my personality and improving my English language.
So that will help me. Now, I think with help, I'm going to say, Dina, you should use an infinitive, not a gerund after that. Let me check your language use one more time.
Since that will help me in improving my personality and improving my English language.
Help me in improving, but you put the preposition there, so I guess that'll work. So help me in improving, okay, or it'll help me to improve. So because you put the preposition, I'll let it slide. So indefinitely after prepositions, you do not want to use infinitives.
First of all, reading books is an important factor which we have to consider as a daily basis.
Okay.
For instance, when I have
For instance.
the time, especially in my weekend, I'm used to reading books like novels or stories, which helped me a lot in improving my personality by expanding my information and thoughts.
Alright.
Secondly, reading books helped me a lot in improving my English language by introducing me to new words and vocabularies.
And that word vocabularies. Usually vocabulary we use as a collective noun, and we don't typically say vocabularies. I would just say vocabulary.
That's why I think that.
Okay, so what do we have here? I think overall, to be honest here, there's not really a lot of language use issues. You had pretty good control, I think, over your grammar. I like how you're using those prepositions, and then after those prepositions you're using gerunds, and that shows you have pretty good language use, so that's good. You had a strong organization to your response right in the beginning, and then you hit on each of those reasons, and you gave some examples to illustrate your ideas. You had a fairly strong argument. Delivery, the one thing, Dean, I'd like you to work on is you're pretty good with intonation. You're doing better with that. But it's called thought groups and blending. You need to blend those words within your thought groups, and that would help you speak a little bit more fluently. Now, to learn more about that, you can go to pronunciation lessons 41 through 44, but focus on the lessons that show you blending. That's something that you can make improvements in. Still, it's a good response. I'm going to put you at least 24 to 26 points out of 30 on this. I think if you did not get a score of 4, it might be because of some minor issues with delivery. All right, so thank you for doing this practice test. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send her these comments that you guys just heard at YouTube so she can get her feedback. So the last two speakers that you guys heard, both of these people are very close to getting 26 in my opinion. They're doing very well. They've been working very hard. And I'm hoping within the next 30 days when they take the TOEFL test, they will be able to reach their mark. That is my prayer in my heart. Okay, now this Dina also had a question about grammar, if I remember correctly. Let me go back to my email for a minute, see if I can find her question. Actually, I better do a separate video answering this one. It's kind of complicated. Okay, let's go back to the speaking practice. And my next student I'm going to talk to right now, Hoda, she scored 24 on the last speaking section, or the last speaking exam, or TOEFL exam that she took. So she wants to get a little bit higher than that. And she wants to improve her speaking, her overall score from 85 to 100. So she needs about 15 points of overall improvement. She's doing very well. Can we download hers? Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Hoda, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT, your online TOEFL course. So here's your question. Describe your dream vacation weekend. Where would you go? What would you do? Use details and examples in your response. So your dream vacation weekend. A weekend means maybe Friday, Saturday, you come back on Sunday, right?
I would like to find a chance to visit Candleman Village, a very beautiful village in Iran. First of all, because of the spiritual house that its people live in. The ancient inhabitants of Candleman dig their home into the mountains, and I would like to rent one of those houses for 2 days, which I think.
So I would like to rent one of those houses or homes for 2 days. So you want to make sure when you say one of the, you want to use a plural noun there, a pluralist ending.
It would be a very spiritual experience. I also like to buy the traditional dress which people still wear, and it is a long coat.
Now you got to do something with your tone here. You got to vary that intonation more than you're doing, Hoda. It's a little bit distracting. You're kind of pronouncing everything almost with the same tone, and that's not how English works, right? You're going to get stuck at 24. You don't want to do that, right? So go to my pronunciation lessons, specifically 36 through 40. Check out those 5 lessons. That'll give you the intonation patterns of American English. And really, on the next practice test, really make an effort to vary your intonation more than you're doing here. Yeah, you had trouble managing your time at the end here. Try to fit the information within the 45-second time slot, and then maybe, if you have time, you can have a short conclusion at the end. Alright, so this one, I think delivery problems with intonation, mostly, that's the biggest issue. You have pretty good control of your language use, topic development. You need to manage your time a little bit better. Let's think about it. So, describe your dream vacation. I think you did. Where would you go? You talked about that. What would you do? You talked about that. But what you can do that helps organize your speaking prompt is you might say something like, well, once I'm there, I would like to visit a certain location, or here's what I would like to do, or something. So restate some of the key points from the speaking task to help give your speech an organization, and also we can see how what you're doing fits the purpose of the speaking. This one, I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30, so I think those delivery issues are bringing your score down just a little bit. Alright? I'm going to send her a quick email so she can get my comments. While I'm doing that, I'm going to have some lunch. How about that? And grab some fruit. Yo, hi there. These comments are for LS, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT, and you completed integrated speaking practice test number 6.
The reading passage discusses the nuclear power, and the lecture gives additional information about risk of nuclear power.
About the risks of nuclear power. The P is killing your pronunciation. Remember, you got to pronounce that with more air. Power, power. There's enough air that comes out when you pronounce the P that if you put a piece of paper in front of your mouth here, I mean, check this out. It's kind of like power, power, nuclear power. So that's one thing you want to work on. Write that down in your speaking journal, LS. You need to work on the P consonant sound and produce that sound with more air, especially when it's in the beginning of the word.
The passage provides information about 2 ways of using boron to produce energy that we need for living, and second, to produce dangerous nuclear weapons that world organization should control on.
Now, you say weapons, the word weapons, that's it. You got to round your lips when you say that sound, that W, weapons. So I think you can also work on the W consonant sound as well.
The lecture discussed the third question of nuclear power.
Now, you didn't get exactly from the reading, so one of the main points in the reading is this: the International Atomic Energy Agency has difficulty monitoring what countries are doing with the enriched uranium that they use. Are they using it for energy, peaceful purposes? Are they using it as a weapon to build nuclear energy? That was a key idea you did not mention.
Which is huge for it. Professor provides example of Chernobyl. First, the tragedy took a lot of lives in the Soviet Union. Second, radiation of the tragedy was higher in 10 times in the Scotland. Third, Chernobyl radiation was a cause of increasing cancer diseases.
Yeah, this one was not very good on your part, so I think you missed a key idea from the reading passage, right? You talked about a lot of important information from the lecture, so I'm not going to worry about that too much, but you had a lot of delivery issues. You were not very comfortable speaking about this academic content, and you had some pronunciation problems, for example, the P, the W consonant sounds, but you're also having some problems with your intonation, right? So you want to work on that too. I think that's pronunciation lessons 36 through 40. So that's something that you want to work on as well. All right, let's take a look at the rubric so I can figure out a score here. Give me a quick second here. Yeah, this one I'm going to put you in the 2 range. I'm going to put you at about 2.3 out of 4, so 18 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. So you're in the 2 range here, so you got to be careful. You really got to work on that tone. I think that's going to be very helpful. And then make sure you do not leave out important points from either the reading or the listening passage, because that also causes your score to drop considerably. All right, so thank you for doing this practice test. So you guys at YouTube, you guys are seeing a wide range of speaking abilities here. I think the very first speaker got 26 on a practice test. The next one got 23. The next one was around 23, and then this one was around 18. So you can kind of see, as you're watching the video, you get some... you get to see a range of speaking abilities, which is good. The question is, what is your speaking ability? Where are you? How do you compare to what you've been watching in this video? That's a question, right? Now, if you don't know and you want to know, you can certainly join my TOEFL Speaking Bootcamp course, right? If you go over to onlinetoeflcourse.com, you can learn more about all the different courses I have and how I can help you improve your TOEFL score. I've been teaching TOEFL preparation now since 1994, so I have a lot of experience. I know what it takes. I know how to help you reach your goals. Okay, I'm going to send a quick email to this student. Okay, attach your speaking comments. And what you guys do when you do join my course, you just send your speaking practice to me by email. I give you comments back by email. The turnaround time is about 24 hours. So if you join my course today, you could send me a speaking practice test today, and I give you comments about that practice test tomorrow. Right? So it's about a 1-day delay. Okay, let me send this message to her. Okay, here's my next one. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Dina, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. So the question here is, when some read in a new language, they read out loud. Others read silently. Which do you prefer and why? And I'm going to recommend to everybody out there, I would recommend that you read silently unless you want to do some speaking or pronunciation practice. But when you're reading, you should read. Right? Okay, so I'm downloading this one here. Okay, here we go. Good luck, Dina.
I would prefer to read out loud, since that would help me in hearing my voice and correcting my mistakes. First of all,
that would help me.
I would prefer to read out loud, since that would help me in hearing my voice and correcting my mistakes.
Okay.
First of all, by hearing my voice, I would be able to correct my wrong pronunciation and grammar.
Okay.
For instance, I'm used to recording my voice when I read an English article.
Yeah, I am used to, okay.
When I read an English article. And actually that helped me a lot in improving my English language. Because when I compared between my record and the right spelling and the grammar, I know
when I compare, I would say recording, not record. Let me see.
My English language. Because when I compared between my record and
when I compare between my recording,
the right spelling and the grammar, I noticed what were my mistakes and how did
I noticed what my mistakes were. So be careful. Noun clauses, Dina, they take statement, not question, word order. So you're using that as a noun clause. So I noticed what my mistakes were, not I noticed what were my mistakes. Now, if you need more information on that, go to my website and check out the lesson. It's called Noun Clauses, and make sure you're comfortable with the word order of that structure.
I spell the words. So, after a while, I noticed my weakness points, and I worked hard to fix them.
I noticed my weak points, right? Not weakness points.
So, after a while, I noticed my weakness points.
Here's a problem there, Dina, is weakness is a noun and points is a noun. So you can either say, I notice my weaknesses, if you want to say that, or I notice my weak points. If I say weak, I'm using weak as an adjective, and then I have points after that. So that's a word form problem there. Remember, take notes. Write down what your language errors are in these practice tests. This is important.
And I worked hard to fix them. That's why, after a few months, my English language was getting better.
Good. It's crazy. Sometimes I'd like to take your intonation and have other students do that because you have very good intonation. But you did have some language use issues, as I pointed out, right? So some of those language use issues are going to bring down your score a little bit. I think you had pretty good control of your topic development, along with relevant and appropriate specific detail. So this one, I think because of some of those language use issues, it's going to be hard to get a score of 4 here. So I'm going to put you at about 2.83 out of 4, 22 points out of 30, due mostly to language use issues. Okay, I'm going to send her the comments here, but you guys kind of see every student is different. Some students have language use issues but good pronunciation. Other students that we've listened to today, they actually have very good language use but very poor pronunciation. So everybody's a little bit different, but my job is to let the students know what the problems are and how they can solve them. And that's what I call TOEFL Speaking Practice Live YouTube, right? And if you guys are watching this, hopefully you guys can get some ideas also on what to do or what not to do when you're doing the TOEFL speaking section. In my opinion, it's the hardest section of the test. I just wrote an article about that yesterday. It really is. It's very tough. Many things can go wrong during the speaking section. Many, many things. Okay, let me send the email out to her. There we go. So I'm sending her comments. And this is it. Yeah, I think I'm done with this video, so I am finished. Before I leave, you see the link under live chat. Check it out. Look at my speaking bootcamp course. All my courses have money-back guarantees. If you don't like the course, after the first 7 days, you can get a full refund. So there's really no risk in joining my courses. You can join them anytime as long as you have a good, reliable internet connection. And that is what I call TOEFL Speaking Practice Live from YouTube. Bye-bye, everybody.